Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. I'm bringing you this video all the way from Canada still. Let's get this thing going. I feel pumped up. I'm ready to roll. Let's do the weekly and daily charts. There were some questions that you guys did have that you guys messaged me. I'm going to try to go over them later this week. And this one, I just want to talk about the levels and maybe a quick 30 seconds, 45 seconds on each, just the weekly zones and daily zones, any ones that stick out. But I know you guys asked me some questions about hidden zones or quality zones. If I manage just to get into it, if I see one, I'll get into it, but I will answer them later in the week if I do not get into them. But let's get this thing started. We're not going to talk too much about theory in this video. We're just going to be talking about levels that are on my chart. So here we are. We're starting with the Euro USD. I see this zone right here on the weekly chart. We're clearly in a weekly downtrend, and I see those levels. As for the weekly demand, I don't see anything till at least down here, and then ultimately I like the one down here way better because it started where the gap is. So those are the levels on the weekly chart. Remember, we're just drawing them to base. I don't want to get too much into detail. Euro USD, we're coming up into supply right now, and I'm not a biggest fan drawing the daily supply like that, but it is how you would draw it, including this top of the wick. So we're coming up into daily supply right now. We're in that daily downtrend, weekly downtrend. So this is definitely an area that I want to try finding shorts at. You could see right now how it's reacted off of this supply right now. Nice little level. Profit margin was not the greatest. It came down, basically just missed the retest of here, and now it's coming back up, probably to go farther in. But let's keep going. I don't want to get too much into theory. I just want to talk about levels. Pound USD weekly chart. I got that one and most likely that one. As for weekly demand, I don't see any weekly demand, but I know this is a monthly demand. Here we are on the monthly chart. If we draw a zone like this, let's just leave it red just for fun. We're in that weekly demand right now, drop base rally. It has been tested a bunch of times, but if we go down to the daily chart, this is why I do like it. We talked about it in my review of the pound US dollar trade that I took, and we still have that zone down there that's really holding it. So if we go all the way live, you can see that. So if I want to be looking for sells, I don't want to be selling anything down here or even here. I want to be waiting till up here for selling opportunities. So especially down here, so that we're sitting in that big picture monthly demand, I would rather be on the buy side. I know there was an option to get long down in here. Let's quickly go down there. It was on the 1 hour. There was an option to get long right there. But let's try to keep it to the weekly dailies. Right now, I think it's just too low right now to be selling. We got that big daily and monthly demand down here. Aussie US dollar. Let's check out the weekly chart. Clearly have room to go. This is our next weekly supply up here. And we really don't have weekly demand till way lower. I believe we're at like all-time lows. This is on the daily chart. This is the next. This is the next daily supply right there. Clearly in that downtrend. Let's see if there's anything too great. Yeah, nothing too insane. You could see that level working. I was watching that level for a 1 hour short. It was that I was watching it for, but I left the day early. Might be up in here, possibles, but I would rather be shorting up here, especially with the multiple time frames, just based on the daily time frame, right? Let's just keep going. New Zealand USD weekly chart. We're sitting in that weekly demand right now. Drop base rally. It's better seen on the daily time frame. If we scroll in, here we are. So if you were to look at this daily chart, you should have these zones drawn out like that. Zone should be still in play, I believe. It hasn't removed it yet. So we're sitting in that daily demand. We don't have daily supply till up here, and up here. So those are where the supply zones are on the daily, but on the daily right now we're sitting in that drop base rally base rally, level on top of level right now. USD yen, I don't see anything on the weekly. I just see us going down still. Nothing too great. Same with the daily. We talked about this zone. We were talking about these zones up here. But as for now, I don't see anything. So if you were to be going with any, if you don't see anything, I'd be following the trend. And I still don't see anything. The fact that I'm just keep going down, I would skip it for now. USD Swiss daily time frame. Got some supply up there, and then you got some demand down here too. So they're not the best demands, just factoring in that they never removed like supply. It was just kind of a drop-based rally, and then this supply up here kind of removed this, which then created supply. Then we kind of broke all this supply downward momentums, which kind of, it's basically got, this is bottom line, like inherited as a demand zone. So it's not the best. It is a gap up. I think we're going to see some counter trend move up. We are sideways right now, basically. But I think you're going to see some buying step in somewhere in these levels. If we go down to the 4 hour, like maybe definitely possibly down in here where the start of the move happened, and maybe if we go to the 1 hour at the very extreme of that daily demand down there. So that's where you might see some pullbacks, but just given the current location, I would rather be looking for buys down here. Definitely not an area where I'd want to be selling. USD CAD, all right, we talked about it. This was the drop-based drop we were talking about. I said I didn't like, a lot of you guys actually brought this up. I think that's why I'm saying that. Some people said they liked this supply zone. I said I didn't necessarily like it. Just the quality of the zone, but as you can, and this rally-based rally was cutting the profit margin. So when the price was coming up into it, into this zone right here, let's quickly draw it out for you guys. It was like that, and I said, you know what, it's not the best zone. I don't like how it moved out. It's not for me. We created this rally-based rally going into it, so it just wasn't for me. I would rather look at other charts. Some of you were looking at the 1 hour for these entries. I believe some of you guys caught something like that. You wouldn't be wrong, but the daily time frame just wasn't for me. And there definitely was a move down there. You can't deny it. You know, price came up, came down, broke this little demand zone, and then went back up. So it could be a little wild ride that you could have been on. As for fresh daily demands, I don't see anything till down here. And personally, I wouldn't really want to be trading this. And anything up there would be supply. But if you were to trade this, I'd really like price to be down here. But in the meantime, we can see we're clearly in that, we're probably sideways now. Yeah, so we're sideways now, broken that upward momentum, how I would draw them personally. Creating supply, not a good sign. If anything, you would be trying to buy down here. But not seeing anything too great right now on the US dollar CAD. If there is, I'd probably let you guys know. Gold. I got short on this. See, let's just quickly talk about it. What's really good about these zones is if you guys, before I talk about the daily zones or weekly zones, is you guys actually go and draw them yourself, and you can see if you were right about how I draw them. So this is the daily supply and weekly supply zone. You can see how price has been stalling. It's gone in once, respected it, came up, coming for that second test deeper in. It's reacting off of this daily demand now. Wasn't really a big fan of this daily demand anyways, just because of the structure to the left of it. I did catch a short on this. It was a scalp trade. I was trying to catch. Oh, I did catch. I'll explain it. This was my daily time frame. I was using it as my biggest time frame. This price was coming up into this daily demand zone, rally-based drop, so I wanted to be looking for selling positions. And I took it on the 15-minute, if I believe. Yeah, so we removed this. This was a 1 hour demand zone structurally. We broke it from down here, so we broke this demand. I was looking at that right there. So if I could quickly just highlight it for you guys. I know I talked to one person about it. It was a good trade. Stop was about to break even. My first target was at 2 to 1, and rough. Don't think I got exited. My first target was like literally like that, and it missed it by a pip, I believe. Besides that, then it stopped out and broke even. So that's kind of a bummer, but it was a quick trade, income trade. But let's keep going. Silver. I don't see anything really on silver. You got some supply up in here right now. So you wouldn't be wrong to talk about this as supply. Honestly, just kind of mark this whole area like that. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. You wouldn't be wrong to look for selling opportunities. Let's keep going. Oil. Oil, we were talking about this one last time. This rally-based rally. Then we had this supply up there. And now we have supply up there. So if we had a trend line, it would be something like that. I definitely want to be looking for shorts up there. I think it's a very nice daily supply zone. And daily demand is right here. We're reacting off of it right now. And as for fresh daily demand, well, we should be looking at the weekly too. Forgot about doing weekly charts. We'll do that next. Anyways, let's keep going. Dow Jones. You can see we have that daily demand there, and daily supply has been tested. Those were the levels that I would use. As for the weekly time frame, I would like another week to confirm the drop. So if we can manage to get a week staying away, that would be really nice, because then we just remove this rally-based rally. And then if we get another week staying away, open and close way down here, that'd be a really nice selling opportunity for, I think, up here. And then we still have that weekly demand right there. That's almost basically reacting off of. SPX, it's all the same thing. Let's just keep going. Bitcoin, I don't see anything on Bitcoin. Anything a little supply right there, but nothing too special. You can see how price is grinding up into it. I'm not a big fan of that. USD. Let's check out the weekly time frame. Yeah. So this is why I like the US dollar. Is that I talked about it. We're sitting in that weekly supply, fresh supply. You can see how it's came up into it really deep, and now it's starting to get respected. As for weekly demand, not till down here. Even on the daily time frame, you can see it's starting to turn. So let's see if we can see anything on the 4 hour. Yeah, like if anything up here at the extreme, even here, we're breaking that supply now, or that demand. Let's keep going. Euro, it's going to be the exact same thing. Weekly levels are going to be there, and weekly demand not till there. So we're kind of in the middle right now. Weekly down, daily down, coming up into that daily supply. So that's why I got my eyes on the euro right now. Right, it's kind of a nice correlation trade. Pound. Let's talk about the pound really quick. We're still sitting in that monthly demand zone area. I still like it on the daily too. That's why we're getting that slowdown right now. And our next selling positions I would look is somewhere up in here. So right now I think we're in a buying zone for the pound personally. Let's keep going. Let's look at the yen. Yen's been on an absolute tear since Donald Trump talked about the tariffs. Where could it ooh, keep an eye on this yen this week, man. This could be a money trade. Right there. We're coming up close into this beautiful supply zone. Let's check it out on the weekly. Where are we? Yeah. I think it's better seen on the daily, but it's started that whole move down based on that daily time frame. And if we actually manage to pop right up into it, I think it's a good area to be looking for shorts on that yen. And if we actually try to line up that yen, we talked about how there is nothing, so there might not be nothing because that big wick kind of screwed us. Yeah, maybe we might find some other yen opportunities out there. Let's keep going though. Aussie. Aussie, we're sitting in that downtrend right Daily supply up there, daily supply there. We're just getting absolutely pounded, the Aussie. As for demand, I don't see anything till, what is that? February 09. Jesus. Basically when the financial crisis was. So that's the next demand zone. Let's see. Anything? Yeah, we're still got a long ways to go on the weekly time frame. Daily's just still going down, trying to catch pullbacks for that selling opportunity. This thing just literally has been going down. New Zealand, let's get a quick look at the New Zealand. I remember that New Zealand chart we talked about, how we're sitting on that level on top of level. Same exact thing. Daily supply there, daily supply there, daily supply there. Not much in-depth conversation we're having. Like I said at the beginning, we're just going to be talking about levels, and you guys could be drawing them out. We'll try to go maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll bring you guys another video talking about more in-depth theory, maybe 1 or 2 charts, because I think you guys seem to like those ones the most. And they're a lot easier for me, actually, to be honest. So Swiss Franc, those are levels I would have on my daily time frame. Canadian, I don't see anything based on the daily time frame. I don't see anything till up here. And down here. Let's see, euro pound. Got that daily supply there. We're sitting in that weekly supply. Right now. Definitely not an area that I want to be looking for buys. There's people that I know that took the short. There would be nothing wrong with taking the short because we're sitting in that weekly time frame. We took out this rally-based rally demand zone, so people were looking at this for that shorting opportunity. And now that we remove that little 4-hour demand, let's see. Yeah, you wouldn't be wrong to take a position that's happening right now, though. Yeah, possibly taking that. You wouldn't be wrong to take that, and your stop would be like something like that. But I'm not. Ooh, what happened? I'm not a fan of that rally-based rally that just formed before it. But you wouldn't be wrong. Let's keep going. Euro Aussie, I don't see anything. Nothing. I don't see anything till down here. Or even a little bit of demand here too. I'm not a fan of that yet. It hasn't closed. See how it's pulled back right now? It's not really convincing me, telling me that the buyers really took control. Aussie, New Zealand. Ooh, yeah, I was watching this area for scalps. This is on my radar, that area. Looks like we're getting that sell-off right away. As for the daily time frame, I got that zone right there. I think we still got lots of room to go. You can still see we're here. We don't have daily demand till down there. And based on the 4-hour, yeah, I would rather be a seller up here, nothing right here right now. Okay, sorry about that. Just have to quickly do something. Let's see. Daily, pound yen. Daily supply, we got daily supply right there. As for daily demand, we're clearly in that downtrend too, so trying to catch those pullbacks. But where are we on the weekly? We're in weekly demand right now, but oh, nope. Here we are now. We are, oh yeah, see, we're in weekly demand right now. So not the best. A lot of pounds pairs are in the demand right now we talked about. So just be careful where you're selling. If personally, I'm going to be careful because I don't want to be selling when we're sitting in that weekly demand right there. So if I'm going to be selling, I'd rather be selling up in there. In that downtrend right now, we can see right now on the 4-hour, we have this drop-based drop forming. So definitely something to look out for. New Zealand yen. So that yen has been on a tear, right? So and we talked about how that yen's sitting in that nice supply zone, coming up into that supply. So if we look here on the daily time frame, basically demand there, little demand. Oh yeah, we can see it reacted off it already. As for supply, I don't see anything really till up there. Let's see, 4-hour, I don't see anything till here. This is the next area that would interest me. New Zealand yen. Oh, these are all the yen pairs, so they're just going to be getting pounded. Let's just see the weekly if we can line it up. Yeah, okay, like New Zealand yen. So we got the yen coming up into that supply we talked about, and then we have the euro coming into demand. I'm talking about the correlations now based on, if you guys remember, we looked at the euro, we looked at the yen. Euro was coming into demand and yen was going into supply. So here on the euro yen, it's coming down into demand. So it might be a nice trade later in the week if we can catch a confirmation trade set up. Let's look at the daily time frame. Yeah, so daily would be like that. All right, nice. That would be sometime later in the week probably. If you wanted to see day trades, you wouldn't be wrong trying to catch shorts there and there. All right, I think that's it. That's all we're going to talk about. The yen, Aussie yen, really doesn't have anything good till up there, so I'm not really going to talk about it. Besides that, if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Feel free to message me, and I'll get back to you. I'm thinking about opening up that Discord chat. Some of you guys have been asking, maybe in the next week or two. So keep an eye out for that, but I'll let you know. But besides that, cheers. Bye-bye.